There's a video circulating of a fight between a male Spirit employee and a female customer. My question to you is it wrong for a man to put his hands on a woman if she strikes first? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Escaping the Echo Chamber. So this video is circulating. I first saw it a couple of days ago with the question being asked, who's in the wrong? Is she in the wrong? Is the dude in the wrong? Or is the man that puts on the cape at the end wrong? Let's check out the video.
And then you got in my face. Don't ever invade my face.
Get out of my face!
No, I'm not.
You fucking
I'm
faggot!
I'm here.
You fucking
I'm here.
butt
I'm
fucking
here.
Japanese
I'm
little
here.
German ass
You're
bitch!
touching me again.
You're fucking
You're touching me again.
The fuck out of my
You're touching
face,
me
bitch!
again.
It's all
You're
on
touching
camera,
me. It
sweetheart.
surely is.
You touched
It
me.
surely, but you in
You
my
weird,
personal
ugly
space.
ass.
You're in my personal
Out of my
space.
face.
You're in my personal space. Stay out of my personal space. You she's touching me. She's touching me. And I'm telling you, don't put, she can't put her hands on me. Oh, wait a minute.
Hey, stop it! Hey, hey!
Now, don't you ever put your hands on me. No, get the fuck, everybody back off from me. This bitch put her hands on me.
You're not gonna fight that woman, man.
This bitch put
No,
her hands
watch
on
out,
me.
man. You ain't gonna fight that woman, bro. You're not gonna fight that
You
woman.
got the wrong person.
Don't fight that woman, bro.
You got the wrong person. You bitch just put my hands on me.
You ain't gonna fight that woman.
Hey, relax, relax.
You ain't gonna fight no woman.
I don't give a fuck.
Relax, 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 relax.
I fight whoever. I
Put
fight
your hands on
whoever.
me.
Take a
fight
deep
whoever.
breath.
Put your hands
I
on me.
fight whoever.
Put your hand.
I fight whoever. I fight whoever. Knock your
Just
bitch ass out. Knock me out.
Knock your bitch ass
Knock me
out.
out. Knock me
It's
out.
okay.
Knock
It's
me out.
okay.
You saw what she did.
It's
You-
okay.
Now, in this video, I originally thought that the third person they were talking about was the man that came in and tried to separate them. Because I understand that. You see this going on, it's getting out of control. Hey, try to calm the situation, diffuse it. I think that's a good thing to do. And in fact, in a little bit, I'll tell you a story of a situation that I myself had to go through. It doesn't end there. You see, okay, first of all, my first perspective is, what are you arguing about? What do you hope to achieve by standing inches away from each other's face, yelling into each other's faces? Like, what do you hope to achieve? And here's the thing. I'm not saying you're not angry. I'm saying at this point, what are you even talking about? I couldn't figure out what they were talking about. Like, they were saying, oh, don't invade my space. Okay, but like, if I don't want you close to me, I'm not going to be continually close to you. That's the problem. If my issue is that you're too close to me, you're invading my space, I'm not going to spend the next 5 minutes arguing with you in your face. It doesn't make any sense. After that, the guy comes in, separates them. I think that's a good thing. Hey, some people may think, oh, no, you just mind your business. I get it. I've heard that perspective as well. But I think that dude steps in to separate them, which is a pretty good idea. However, the way in which he did it may not have been the best way. Here's why. Because he is calmly but gently pushing the guy back. And he's talking to him, walking him back. And so good. Things are going good. But what this woman does, what that chick does, that's some bull. That's some absolute bull. Because while he's separating them, while he's pushing, getting this guy to calm down, getting this guy to back up away from her, she decides to take the opportunity to run in and get a cheap shot. She used this guy, the peacemaker, as a shield so she could assault the guy, the Spirit Airlines employee. That's when all bets are off. And now, this is the question. At this point, he's like, oh, you want to hit me. You want to smack me. And not only do you want to smack me, but you want to use this guy as a shield so that because we were face to face, like right here, we were right here, and you didn't try to smack me. Now that there's somebody in between us, now you want to smack me, most likely under the perception that, oh, somebody's going to protect me. I can smack somebody, and I'm going to have somebody standing in front of me to protect me from getting smacked back. And he's not having it. So at this point, he tries to get at her. And he does, everybody falls to the ground. He grabs her, hits her. She's still running. Now she's running, just flat out running. That's when the man with the cape, Superman, comes in and says, no, fight me. Now, I wonder how much of the events that transpired did Superman see? because that's what we're going to call him. We're going to call him Superman. Superman decides to put on a cape and decide that, okay, no, you're going to fight me because you're not going to be fighting a woman. But I want to tell you my story. I want to tell you the story that happened while I was on the train, and it was Mother's Day some years ago, and an altercation breaks out. Let me tell you how everything gets started. There's a gentleman sitting on the train, and he's seated, but he's got his legs kind of spread out, what is called man spreading. A woman and her daughter get on the train. Let me restate this. A woman and her adult daughter get on the train, and the older woman, the mother, says, "Excuse me, could you move over so we can sit down?" And he does. He closes his legs and moves over so they can both sit down. Now you may say, how do I know that this is a mother and her daughter? We'll get to that in a moment. Okay. After he makes room for them, and now he's actually, he kind of scritched up a little bit. Now the mother decides to herself man spread, and she goes like ridiculous. So while he may have been man spread like this, she decides to man spread like this. And I'm looking at this. I'm noticing this from the very beginning. I'm like, you can't be fucking serious. You can't be fucking serious. But this is what she does. So he puts up with it for about one stop, and then he turns to her and says, "Excuse me, you just asked me to close my legs so I can give you space. Could you do the same thing?" Very respectfully, doesn't curse at her, and he doesn't curse at her, doesn't raise his voice. He very calmly makes that request. Now, this is when her adult daughter, and here's how we know. What? You gonna say that to my mother? What? You gonna say that to my... Absolutely ridiculous. It's on Mother's Day. How you gonna disrespect my mother? He's like, I asked her to close the legs. And so now they both start arguing with him. So he gets up and just walks over to the doorway and is standing there. But that's not enough, because now the daughter, the mother has started arguing, the daughter started arguing, but now the daughter is getting even more worked up. Now the daughter's like, she gets up into his face and she's yelling at him. She's putting her hands in his face, and he's trying to ignore her. At this point, the mother says, okay. Now, the mother was in on, starting this drama, but now the mother's trying to, okay, calm down. He doesn't want to fight. The mother doesn't want her to fight. That's when I say, okay, I'll step in. Now I step in between them and I start edging her backwards. And she's moving backwards, but she's still cursing. She's still yelling. And now that I'm in between her, she seems to get more active. Because now she's like, yeah, what? And she's cursing at him and she's threatening him what she's going to do. And then she keeps trying to rush past me to get to him. And now I got to keep blocking her from trying to get to him. At one point, everybody now clears off of the seats and is back up there watching this spectacle unfold. And at one point, she jumps onto the seats, tries to run past me on the seats, and try to kick at him while he's standing at the door. But I just keep blocking her from getting past me to him. My question is, if she had gotten past me, would he be wrong to fight back? That's the question I want to ask you. But the fortunate thing is, she never did get past me. We get to a stop. The police happen to be there. I'm like, fuck. At this point in time, I'm fresh home. I haven't been home for long. I don't like seeing the police. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. I'm still on paper. I don't want to talk to police. So I had actually had some Chinese food with me. It had gotten knocked over in all of the drama. I'm like, fuck it, I'm leaving it. And I breeze. So I don't even see what happens at that point. But I did stop her from getting to him, and from him to being put into the position where he has to make a choice. Is he going to let this woman hit him, or is he going to fight back? But my question to you is, what should a man do? If a woman wants to be the aggressor, what should a man do? Is a man justified in fighting back? Back to the Spirit Airlines story, my take is the person who's most wrong is her, because she took a cheap shot. She used somebody acting as a peacemaker as an excuse to assault this guy. That was cowardly. That was despicable. That was just if I'm the peacemaker at that point, I'm going to be pissed off. The difference between my situation and the Spirit Airlines is where my attention was on her and stopping her from getting to him. In the Spirit Airlines, he was focused on the gentleman, and he completely ignored her. Because that's something you have to realize if you're breaking up in a fight or a potential altercation. You don't want to be in a position where you get somebody hurt, where you have to keep your eyes on both people, especially if you don't know them, to make sure that, okay, you're not actually facilitating somebody, because you could get in the way, stop somebody from doing something. The other person pulls out a weapon and then kills this other person. And then that's on you. But what she did was just absolutely foul. And then you see that she's then trying to run. It's like, no, why'd you put your hands on him? Don't run now. Don't run now if you decided not just to put your hands on him, but to take the opportunity to exploit an opportunity where somebody was trying to calm the situation down and somebody was actually separating him to get a cheap shot. That was some foul nonsense. The second person who was most wrong is the guy that decided to put on the cape, Superman. Superman, if you were watching this entire event, even if you're going to try to stop him from getting to her, to telling him to fight you, like you got to realize why he's mad. You got to realize why he has some grievance. She assaulted him, and she used a moment when he was calming down and retreating as an excuse to do it. So Superman was a clown, an absolute clown, but unfortunately for the dude, and quite predictably, however, for the dude, he's been suspended. I'm surprised he still has a job. They must have a pretty good union, because I could have easily seen him getting fired just for the argument alone. What are your thoughts on the situation? Put them in the chat. Let me know. Put them in the comment sections whether you think a man is never justified, or if a woman strikes first, a man is justified in hitting back. Let me know your thoughts on the situation. Like, share, subscribe if you have not subscribed already. But if you think I'm wrong about something, like if you think people should never even be getting involved in the middle of the situations, feel free to give me a thumbs down and state why in the comment section. And if you would like to see a video on a similar situation, you can click on the screen right here. I'll see you next time.